hands up, no turning back.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Strive Tribe podcast. It's your boy Devan, and today I wanted to go into and dive into the never give up mindset. You know, our whole motto at Strive 11 at our gym is never give up. You know, but it all stems from that never give up mindset. You know, before it becomes just a saying. While it may seem basic or it may seem, you know, super generic or, you know, cheesy to be like, oh yeah, never give up, never give up. No, there's actually a deeper meaning and psychology behind it. You know, because I mean, one of the things I always tell my clients and even our members and, you know, friends or whatever is your body will go 10 times farther than your mind will let it. I'll repeat that. Your body will go 10 times farther than your mind will let it, right? Mindset is everything. You gotta have a positive mindset to be able to succeed and overcome certain obstacles. So this mindset is the foundation to achieving your goals. The never give up mindset, I repeat, is the foundational block to achieve your goals. The truth is, the world doesn't owe you anything. The moment you start thinking that it does, you fall victim and you become a victim and you have that victim mentality. And it's easy to feel like a victim when challenges, you know, arise, but the reality is you have to earn success. You have to earn the achievement of your goals. And that's where that never give up mindset really comes in. Now, you may ask, why is this mindset so critical for achieving your goals? You know, and my answer is simple to you. It's to keep you going. When times are tough, when, you know, you can't see the next step in front of you or you can't see the finish line, this is where this mindset comes from. It keeps you going. It empowers you to persist and, you know, persevere no matter what the obstacles are that you face. And that is the key to achieving your goals, because no road to success or no road to your goals or someone else's goals or goals in general are going to be a straight, you know, paved, nice and steady, you know, city road. It's going to be an unforgiving, unpaved, you know, almost like off-roading kind of road. Like there's ups, there's downs, there's dips, there's potholes. Like that's just how life is. You don't know what's going to be thrown at you, and you and someone else might be aiming towards the same goal, and you guys are going to face different roads, different journeys, you know, different potholes, different obstacles. But let's get into the nitty gritty about the steps you can start to develop to develop a never give up mindset. And then after that, you know, I want to talk about a couple famous people that, you know, you might know or be able to relate to that, you know, also definitely have had a never give up mindset from when they started their journey, whether it's from acting or from bodybuilding or from the tech side of things. There's people in all aspects of life that have that never give up mindset to achieve their goals. But let's get into the steps. So first, you need to develop a strong why. And we've talked about this before, but it's essential to understand the purpose behind your goal. When your why or the reason why you're doing it is strong enough, then that will allow you to push through certain obstacles. You know, you won't easily sway under the pressure of certain obstacles or adversity. And remember, if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not big enough. And the reason I say that and laugh is because your why should be something that's deeper. You need to ask yourself, why are you doing this? Why do you want to achieve that goal? And then when you're able to give an answer, ask why that answer is your answer. And again, and dig down a couple levels to really find your true why. Okay, so like for example, you know, I wanted to open up a business. Why? Because I've always wanted to be a business owner. Okay, but why did you always want to be a business owner? Well, I love seeing, from a young age, I had a t-shirt company, and I love seeing, people wear it around the school. Okay, well, why'd you love it? Because I love seeing the growth of the business or the company. Okay, and then why did you love seeing the growth? Because it showed me that I was having an impact. And that's my why. That's one of my core values. That's one of the Strive's core values, with our team, is to have an impact, right? But you ask a few layers down and you'll find that true why. The next thing is to set clear goals. Once you have a strong why, then you have to set clear goals and specific goals that break down your larger goal into smaller, manageable ones. And you got to keep track of your progress as you're hitting those milestones. In a group that I'm a part of, the RBO group, someone had mentioned, milestones and what happens if you're not hitting your milestones and stuff. And, one of the things I said in there was, realize that if you're not hitting your milestones and it's like you're doing everything you can, realize your milestones might be like marathon stones, right? What is a marathon made up of? It's made up of miles, right? Maybe you have to break down your current milestone into smaller milestones. And those are actually the milestones. And then once you accumulate a certain of them, that's like a marathon, and you keep it growing. But you don't want to set massive milestones that it takes you a few years to hit, right? You have to set ones that you can hit in a month or in a quarter, and whatever it may be. But if your goal is to lose 100 pounds, you're not going to set your first milestone at 50 pounds. You're going to set your first one at like 5 pounds, the next one at 10 pounds, 15. Then maybe you can jump it up a little bit, and you want to go to, from 15 to 25, but you have to have manageable ones, because that's what keeps you going, and that's what keeps that motivation going, is acknowledging the milestones and the accomplishment you've made thus far. But the next thing you have to realize is you have to embrace failure and understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. I want you to really think about that. Failure is not the opposite of success, as in either you're a failure or you're a success. It is a part of success, right? If you look at failure as a failure, you're looking at it the wrong way. Each failure isn't a failure, it's a lesson learned of how not to do it or do it next time, so that you can get one step closer. That obstacle that you didn't overcome and are still trying to overcome is a lesson learned. Once you are able to overcome it, you're that much better. Now you know how to overcome that obstacle in the future. You've grown mentally, physically, emotionally, your business, your fitness, whatever your goals are. That's a huge thing. So failures aren't a bad thing. They're just lessons learned. But you have to maintain a positive attitude, staying positive. Even when things don't go as planned, maintain a problem-solving mindset rather than, just dwelling on all the problems themselves. Because you worrying and you thinking about all these problems, all these fires that you're facing does nothing for you. Pick one of them, pick a problem, pick a fire, and focus on the task at hand. How do you overcome that? How do you solve that? How do you put that down? Or how do you, get past all that? Then you go to the next one. And then once you overcome that one, then to the next one. Focus on one thing at a time, and then all of a sudden you'll look back and then you're 10 things down, right? But you have to stay committed, the commitment to your goal and the journey itself. Even when the going gets tough, your persistence is going to be one of the ultimate keys to your success, right? So realize there's a saying, the man who values the destination, or the man that values the journey versus the man that values the destination will go farther than the man that values the destination. I kind of butchered that a little bit, but if you start to learn to love the process, it won't seem like a chore anymore. It just becomes who you are, right? So stay committed, stay persistent, and naturally it starts to become easier and allows you to push even harder. But another easy way to, stay committed is surround yourself with support. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who inspire you, who push you to strive harder. it's easy to keep going when you have that supportive community backing you. You know, we've talked about accountability systems, we've talked about support teams, we've talked about community, you know, in past podcasts. But again, it's such a big thing because life isn't easy. Whatever your goals are, you're gonna face obstacles. You know, even for our business, we're trying to grow the business. We have milestones for the business, and we joined a mastermind because, again, now we're surrounding ourselves with people that are, you know, are, one, supportive, but two, are helpful, and two, encouraging. So it helps everything go around. And we're that same for the group as well. We try to motivate, we try to help as many people in that group, you know, and it goes for any areas of life. You know, if you're hanging around people that just want to go hang out and drink and watch Netflix all day long, then you're going to become that same person. You're going to be the, I can do this, or I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm gonna. And it's like, you're just going to be another gonna person, right? So surround yourselves with people that are actually taking action and are positive and are growth mindset, you know, driven. And those people will start to bleed off into you. And naturally, whether you thought you were that kind of person or not, you start to become who you surround yourself with. You know, show me your 5 friends and I'll show you who you are. But let's just not talk in theory. Let's dive into some like real life examples like I was telling you about before. People who have fought their battles, faced their giants, and, you know, were victorious. So some of those like inspirations, you know, to people in the fitness industry, kind of keep it, you know, fitness related at first, who embodied that never give up mindset, I would have to say would be like Arnold Schwarzenegger and The Rock, you know, Dwayne Johnson. Arnold wasn't always just a star, you know. He was from a small town, from Austria, and he was the son of a strict police officer, you know, and his childhood was hard. His dreams seemed impossible at the time. But Arnold had a vision, a life beyond, you know, the constraints of his little village in Austria, and he stuck to it. He started weight training at the age of 15, and, you know, finally, 5 years later, at the age of 20, he won the Mr. Universe title. He faced numerous challenges, and some of those included like cultural and language barriers when he moved from Austria to America. Not to mention like the fierce competition in bodybuilding itself, but he never gave up. His passion, dedication, and ironclad mindset of never give up made him the youngest Mr. Universe and later a 7-time Mr. Olympia. But he didn't even just stop there. He went on to have a successful acting career, you know, Terminator and everything, and even started, or even served 2 terms of the governor of California. You know, no matter how you felt about him being governor or not, like, you're talking about some kid from a small town in Austria, you know, who basically told people, or was told by people that couldn't, you know, you couldn't be this and you can't do that. And now this dude, you know, just is one of the most iconic people in bodybuilding, you know, huge actor, and everyone knows, you know, certain movies of his, no matter what, even if you've seen them or not. And on top of all that, you know, he even went into the politics, but he never gave up, and that attitude continues to still inspire millions around the world today. Like, people still know his name even if they couldn't put a face to his name. The next person I would have to say is, you know, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you know, and I know you've probably seen at least one movie with him in it, but he's probably one of the most recognizable faces, I would say, in entertainment industry today. But his journey was far from easy. You know, he basically had a promising football career, and it was prematurely ended due to a series of injuries. And at one point he had $7 in his pocket, you know, so broke, injured, career, you know, what he thought it was going to be in football, all done, all hit him at once. But The Rock didn't let that shatter him. You know, his whole mantra and his whole motto, ours is never give up, his is blood, sweat, respect. And that's what he held dear, and that's what powered him to continue to strive. He pushed his limits in the world of wrestling, and built his name up in the WWF, now WWE. But it didn't just stop there. You know, his spirit led him into the Hollywood, and he became one of the highest grossing actors of all time. The Rock's relentless dedication and refusal to give up transformed him from broke $7 in my pocket and injured football player to a globally loved figure in both fitness and entertainment. But this podcast isn't just about fitness. So I want to kind of switch this up a little bit and talk about two people that I know at least one of them, Elon Musk, and the other one, Sir Richard Branson. Both of them are entrepreneurs, and both of them had that never give up mindset that, maybe you can relate and tie this into you. But Elon Musk, growing up, he was a big reader and self-taught programmer. He loved just kind of finding things out and, going above and beyond. But he was severely bullied as a child. He faced a ton of professional setbacks later on before even building any companies. But his first company, Zip2, it wasn't a Tesla of today, right? It was a struggle. Then he was ousted as the CEO of PayPal, which was his next venture after Zip2. And then even his more recent one, SpaceX, which I know you've heard of, which is his passion project, he faced 3 failed launches before they finally got it right. Right? That's one of those things where 3 times, when you're trying to launch a spaceship, it fails. Like it takes a lot to go for a 4th. Because then people are talking and, you're starting to think in yourself like, man, is this even the right move anymore? But Elon never had a doubt, and his never give up mindset allowed him to hit that 4th launch. But, through all that, like SpaceX, it was on the brink of bankruptcy. He even had to invest his own money to keep it afloat. But today, SpaceX is pioneering space travel, and Musk continues to innovate and disrupt various industries with his businesses like Tesla and Neuralink. So, I mean, he's a huge example of that never give up mindset and, not letting boundaries and people tell him what he can and can't do. But our final, person I want to talk about, Sir Richard Branson, he struggled with dyslexia. See, I almost had dyslexia even just thinking about that word. And he didn't do well in school, but those things didn't let him stop him or, define him, because that would be a huge excuse. And that'd be a huge way to give yourself an out. Like, oh, I can't read, or I can't do this because it's too hard for me. That didn't let him, hold him back at all. He started his first business, a magazine called Student, at the age of 16. What were you doing at the age of 16, right? That's crazy. But he faced numerous business failures, like, I don't know if you remember Virgin Cola or Virgin Brides, but despite these setbacks, his never give up attitude was his guide. He continuously reinvented himself and his business ventures, and it has led him to the global powerhouse that he is, today, with the Virgin Group, with more than 400 companies under that umbrella. Branson's story is a testament to success. If you really think about it, it isn't necessarily about getting it right the first time or the second time or even the 3rd time like SpaceX, but it's about being willing to try and try and try again, not letting a failure be a failure, letting a failure be a lesson on your path to success. So there you have it, folks. Never give up mindset is the key to achieving your goals, as you can see, and hopefully it kind of opened up your mind and allowed you to waver off that next excuse of, why you can't go get a workout in, or why, you haven't hit your goals yet. It's not about just not giving up. It's about pushing forward, learning, evolving, persisting. Remember, the only surefire way to fail is to stop trying. It's impossible to hold someone back and to make someone be a failure who just is willing to never give up. So, thank you all for joining us on this episode of the Strive Tribe podcast. Until next time, stay strong, stay resilient, never stop striving, and never give up. Please shoot us any DMs or, messages or even a comments on the video. And let us know if there's any subjects or topics you want us to talk about. But thanks guys for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.